Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to my reaction to the newest gameplay showcase, the second of Hogwarts Legacy that was just released earlier today. I did do a reaction to the first showcase that they did, and people seemed to enjoy it, so I figured I would do another one for this game. I'm very, very excited for this game. I will say, before we really get into it here, on the previous one, people had a lot of issue with me muting the video at times to talk over it when I thought there wasn't important things going on, so I'm not going to be doing that this time. Whenever I want to get some words in, I will just pause the video to make sure I'm not missing anything out of it. Also, want to make this very clear off the bat, because I tried to in the last video, people were still upset. I by no means consider myself highly educated in the wizarding world, the Harry Potter lore. I've seen the movies, and I'm in the middle of reading through the book series still right now in preparation of the game coming out, so that I'm a little more familiar with everything. However, if me not catching a reference or not understanding something maybe is going to really bother you, feel free to click off the video now, because it's probably going to happen at some point. But if that isn't something that's going to bother you too much, and you just want to see somebody else who's excited about the game share some excitement and get excited for this thing, then I'm happy to have you, and I hope you enjoy the watch along here. This is a game that I'm very, very excited about, even though I'm not the most, as I said, educated when it comes to all of the wizarding things. But the premise of a Harry Potter game has been something, I believe as kids, there were a few Harry Potter games like on the PlayStation 2 and stuff that were really enjoyable. But the thought of like an open world type Harry Potter games it's a dream, honestly. I'm very, very excited for this game. Among the slew of games coming out next spring, this is the game that I'm most excited for, is Hogwarts Legacy. So, without further ado, let's get into the second, gameplay showcase. I don't know much about what's going to be in here. I believe in the teaser that they posted on Twitter, I saw a troll getting Avada Kedavra by the wizard, the player. So that is exciting, and yeah, I want to see more out of that. So let's pause my music here, pop open the video, and let's give it a watch. Only 35 minutes, so a little bit shorter than the... Oh, God! Than the previous one, I believe. This room that they're in is beautiful. Right, that's what they're showcasing, I believe. More of the broom flying. Also, I think at the end of the last one, they said they were going to show more of the world outside of Hogwarts in this gameplay showcase, so I'm excited for that. Beautiful time lapse of Hogwarts, okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have Game Director Alan Tu.
He's so nervous.
And Systems Designer,
it's adorable.
Toner.
Hi.
And finally,
to be fair, I believe they had someone on like this last time. I believe they're just fans. So, yeah. You'd be pretty hyped.
And gameplay for us, Andrew Corum. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broom Flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts. And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that we.
Wait, I don't remember leaving off with the character being swagged out in a coat. This game looks phenomenal, by the way.
After walking through everything, and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world. And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground. Oh my God! And I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just, I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So
because of the how fast you're moving through the world, I wonder how this game is going to perform on consoles or even mid-tier PCs. It'll be interesting once they announce the performance of the game. This also seems like it's going to be one of those games where if there is fast travel at all in the game, which I assume there will be because most open world games have some sort of fast travel, I probably won't use it. I'll probably just be just strolling through the woods, just ripping through them trees on the broom all the time. There's a few games like that. For example, the Spider-Man games. Never use fast travel in those. Love swinging around. It seems like this might be a similar type of feel here. I'm very excited.
You see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, we're not at the 3000 yet. We're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom to go faster?
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop, and so that sells a variety of different
Fantastic.
brooms. And it was important to us that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Oh?
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air...
I am absolutely focusing immediately on getting the broom fully upgraded. If you can just like straight away go through that whole tree or story or whatever. It sounded like you might have to do some side quests to unlock the upgrades, some tasks for the shopkeep. So I will absolutely be immediately beelining through that if that is how that works.
You'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better. And you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to point B. You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really...
Also notice as they're flying through, there's like a bunch of challenges popping up over here. Dueling feats, use a mandrake against an enemy and keep an enemy airborne for 10 seconds. That's interesting. That's intriguing to me. Also, the world looks beautiful. I assume this is autumn? The season, because a lot of the trees got yellow and orange in them.
Really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh my god! Like I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to that forest, and to that hamlet, or well I don't know if that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome. We're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as. And so we all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so
they got little villages. I just, real quick, this will be the last time I mention it, the visuals. I believe the developers making this, Avalanche Studios, is it? Primarily have made like mobile games. So I was very concerned with how the graphics might end up looking. I kind of assumed that it would look like an Xbox 360 game, and I was fine with that because I figured the gameplay would make up for it. I'm very impressed by how this looks. This looks much better than I would have ever expected. Anyways, graphics look fantastic. That's the last time I'll mention them, probably.
And so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you'll also notice on the mini-map, like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in, you know, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist.
Oh my
each
God.
one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And as you kind of encounter different enemies dotted on the landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around in it.
I mean, I want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
That's another thing. I was wondering how they were going to fill the world. It sounds like they're doing a good job of it. Wow.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount.
Oh?
We're gonna hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my God, there he just like pops out of the back. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse. I mean, that is
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a
Oh my
ground mount,
God.
and you can lift off into the air. And we tried to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed.
I also see, so when
totally
they
ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift off into the air. And
here, when you're looking at whatever this creature was here, I'm sure more educated Harry Potter fans would probably know what this is just by, I guess I could pop up the Thornback Scurrier. That's what it is. I knew it the whole time. It says that it's level 18, which immediately makes me wonder if the enemies are going to scale with the player or if you have to level up to a certain level to be able to have a chance against the enemies in that area. I would prefer if they scaled with you, I think, because I don't like when games make you do a bunch of side quests and stuff to be able to access the next area of the game. Like, I would prefer it scaling. However, with this game, for example, like, I am gladly going to do all of the side stuff, so it wouldn't bother me as much as other games that I've played. But when playing a game that I'm not like 100% into, and I just want to kind of get through and like do the main story, it does bother me when the enemies don't scale and they're like set to a locked level and it's very hard to access certain areas unless you go and like grind through a bunch of side quests and stuff.
And we tried to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing just to be
look at the
riding around.
glide.
Look at it. Yeah, it really is kind of like.
I wonder what happens if you fly into a tree.
And it's a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being. That each one of these run to fly.
I'm conflicted. They might have already announced this, and I'm just wasting my time even talking about it. But like, these enemies are also level 18, which makes me think that they scale with the player. Or it could just be the area, because the level of the enemy is in green, which I assume would mean that the player is a high enough level to fight them, and it's maybe like red if you're a lower level or something. I don't know.
That each one of these things that you can interact with
I'll find out.
Have a unique identity and a reason for being.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my God, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? Or there are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah,
or,
as soon as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so you might find more difficult challenges.
Oh, I meant to say this at the beginning. I kind of struggled a little bit with whether I want to continue watching these gameplay showcases or not, because like it is spoiling parts of the game, right? So it's like, do I want to just wait till the game comes out and experience them for the first time? Or do I want to watch the video before the game comes out and get excited? I'm probably, knowing my goldfish memory, I'm probably going to forget half the things they show in these showcases anyways. So I figured it's probably fine if I just give it a watch, you know?
In different areas, and you'll see different
I'm going to try to stop pausing so much, because 8 minutes in, it's been 16 minutes in the recording. It's going to take an hour at this rate.
Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned, the swamp. But there we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world, just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like, covered in snow.
Yes,
That sounds fantastic.
Please, I love snow.
That's okay. That's probably the season that I'm most excited for.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Okay, it looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my god, does it have like actual like gameplay impact, like impact on the gameplay, or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you'll see kind of like the title card winter, and now the landscape has changed, and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student.
I don't know what these little balloons floating around are. I love that. I was gonna say, I wonder, like, just X amount of time played, does the season change? I do like that it's tied to the story. I like that a lot, actually.
Student, going through your year at Hogwarts, and I think we wanted to duplicate that. And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree. I think it looks really beautiful, but within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays, and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments.
I love that.
That really
Christmas.
helps kind of
give me Christmas, man.
Right. Yeah. And it's not just for the seasons. Those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle. Even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe, when you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down just when there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff. And we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my... I still can't get over, like, no matter... I played this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room, that it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this time.
mean, I'm just I'm speechless right now. Just
space is still, or to my common room, that it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space.
Oh, it didn't show the levels there. It says my big dumb face is covering it, but it says the tool wheel is useful for dealing with higher level combat situations. Combat plants and potions can give you an advantage against tougher enemies. So I guess they don't scale with the player, and it's based on the area, maybe? Or maybe it's just based on the enemy themselves? I don't know. I'll find out eventually.
This is still exciting to me after all this time.
I mean, I'm I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful.
I honestly am as well.
As much as we want to spend
everything
time.
with the season cycle and the day-night cycle, I love that. It like helps so much with immersion when you're playing games. Like that honestly might be the most excited part of the well, not the most excited part of the game. I'm excited to like fly around in a broom and use wands and stuff a little more, obviously, but the seasons changing and the day-night cycle is like phenomenal. I love that.
I'm out here just flying around, experiencing the world. I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition. All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is.
I'm going to have to buy the deluxe edition, huh?
Which is part of the deluxe
digital
deluxe edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
A reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly. There are many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack from the deluxe
lighting looks fantastic.
So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's what I like going down.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice?
Yeah, so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally. And so everyone has access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves in order
that
to
is sick. It's like a coliseum.
A different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena.
Fight waves of enemy. Sorry for yawning. I've worked today. It was an early morning, but I'm definitely not finding it boring. That is not why I'm yawning. Fight waves of enemies in this battle arena with the unforgivable curse. Curses Avada Kedavra, of course, Imperio and Crucio, as well as the blasting curse Confringo. In addition to their unique and devastating effects, unforgivable curses break through all shield charms.
But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices.
What do you mean no peeking?
Add that to their repertoire, and they can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena,
that's great though. So it has the wheel here. I'm kind of blocking it. I'll move myself a little bit. I'm sorry, this can be a long video. It has the wheel here. And then you can see like the list of all the spells, I guess. So you select them, put them into your little hot bar, I suppose, of sorts. And then it looks like they have a preview window here. So it shows like what the spell does in game and what it looks like. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm blown away.
Actually have access to
details.
All of those things as kind of like a way to test them all.
And the game's gone gold, so it's not being delayed further.
Dark Arts and decide whether or not
for PC and
that you kind of want to go down.
New gen consoles, at least.
Yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right. They just about the cadavers right away. Oh my God.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my God. Was that Crucio? Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
a little
kind
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you just have questions about.
Well, like I see like little blue things popping from the enemies. Also, before like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing the game, we reference that as your ancient magic meter.
Oh, so it is ancient magic.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery and your own abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy. But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful
an ultimate
ancient magic spell to do a ton of damage.
See, I don't even know what ancient magic entails. I have no idea. That is very new to me.
And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways.
So I'm assuming this was the special ability they did? This person turns to ash?
Wide variety of enemies in here that are
like they've been Thanos snapped? That was gnarly?
There's
and then that's the Avada Kedavra, I believe.
Variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's
just the animation of the particles are beautiful.
A wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat, you're Portegoing and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spec into it with your talents. There are different ways to get that meter to...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm finding it, I'm trying to focus on the gameplay and look what's going on. I'm finding it hard to focus on what they're saying and the gameplay at the same time because I'm trying to focus equally on either of them and it's not working out.
Build faster and faster. So one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in
okay,
the
so these right here.
And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can go up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the way you play, and I think Mackenzie well to kind of change the way you play. And
so this is an ultimate again. You can see, so you have two of the blue bars down here. Every time you use an ultimate, it uses up one of them. And I guess there's different animations for a bunch of the ultimates, because this time he turned him into a chicken instead of into ash.
Knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you.
I'm excited to see more about the Room of Requirement.
Quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my God, she's just destroying. The troll just collapsed from one of the cadavers.
Obviously, we have the Wiggle potion as well, which increases your health.
The dodge.
And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right. That's going to be really cool. This game just sounds so sick, man. God, I also saw they tweeted out, people were like asking if they could jump in the game because they don't like feeling tethered to the ground. So the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter just tweeted out jump, I believe, with a GIF of the playable character jumping. It was great.
There's just so much like versatility, like in what the character is doing to the troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena. He's like not, and the troll makes him move around too. Looks like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the setup of the arena, you also have plants that you can fight with. And so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down and it acts like a turret and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a true like
that was like an armored troll. You could still just one hit that thing with Avada Kedavra. And they did say that they tried to make it accurate, like sometimes to a ridiculous extent, I believe, at the beginning of this showcase. So it's or not the showcase, this battle in the arena. So it'll be interesting to see how far that can go.
Wait till bro. The battle.
Because I assume there's going to be some enemies in the game that you can't just one hit with Avada Kedavra. We'll see.
Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things that you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to...
that was another alt animation? I like challenges. I wonder what you get for doing them. I assume they'll tell us in a second.
Have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream. And the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to
probably just XP,
explore the
I guess,
systems to help them decide to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to do, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
that's right,
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so. We have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy. And so, oh my God. there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts characters, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool because like it's like I see so much like going on the stream, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be
almost 7 minutes. I'll smoke that time.
Magic,
easy.
To be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well, where you get to brew things and grow things.
Weird.
And also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the Room of Requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think it's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer.
That little pause after he interrupted. Oh man.
Home, this is yours.
Oh my God! What? This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So. There's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space.
My Room of Requirements is gonna be bitchin'.
Oh my god, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
Beautiful.
That's so cool. And you
Love
change
that.
color?
You can change the color, you can change the
Oh my
size of it,
God.
and you can
Oh
place
my
it
God.
basically anywhere.
Oh my god, it's so tiny. It's like for baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in.
Great.
And you're actually doing this in the world as your character, but the way you've blended.
It's fantastic. I did, yeah. It doesn't go into like a build mode. It's just your character. That's great. I love that.
Gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing the space.
Oh my god, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like it almost like it apparates.
It is really quite beautiful, and that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. We really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, like in the game, you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to.
Anything, huh? We'll see about that. What if I want to walk around in a banana suit? I bet they don't have that.
But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part.
Okay, first of all, it looks like maybe these are tiers of rarity. Like the orange gold would be like legendary, purple, blue, green. I assume is what the colors relate to.
Have different abilities, and that can help you.
So these are the traits you can add on to the clothing, it looks like. Decreased damage from different sorts of enemies. That's what all of these are, actually. Okay.
You in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing.
Oh, and it requires you to actually like get fur and stuff from enemies. That's, oh my god, that is, I love it. I love everything that they've shown.
And so
There's a huge list.
This has been
not all
a
the time,
phenomenal showcase.
Whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the room of requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so
Beautiful.
cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes, you know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding. And as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything.
Hold the phone.
And to tweak.
I don't know what exactly I'm looking at here.
Properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on.
Great.
You look.
Oh my god, that is fantastic. So I don't know what the first game that actually added this was. I played Assassin's Creed, and that was the first game that I ever played that added it. But if you have gear, so say you have like 2 chest plates, and one of them is significantly worse, but you think it looks better, you can take the look of the worst one and apply it to the better chest plate. So you can take like the look of any item you've collected and apply it to another item, so that you don't like have to use the one that looks ugly. I love that feature. That is one of like my favorite features that I've seen implemented in single player games recently. I love it. I believe that's what he's talking about right now.
Look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to the sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncalf fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivarium. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler.
So you don't... I kind of this thing is adorable. I kind of assumed that we just went out into the world and started slaying out animals for their fur, but I guess maybe you like brush it and harvest it from your pets.
And a Kneasel as well, so quite a variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
cute. Cuddling. I know, oh my god, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur, niffler fur, etc. That can then be used in your gear.
That is like so
wonderful.
Like intuitive because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them.
There's so much. There's so much to do. I assumed it would just be like basically main story when they first revealed this game. I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't have super high expectations, but I was still extremely excited. This looks phenomenal.
Feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness, no, this is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool, it's like you have this little play area, like a personalized fish tank, so to say, just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to
Hold on.
To it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process.
So I saw that there's a breeding den, and then this is the feeder for them, so I guess you don't have to come in and feed them constantly?
One of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beasts in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can play with your beasts.
Oh!
You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's a bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the mooncalf really likes the moon ball, or the Kneasel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my god.
Watching them.
Shut up.
And
no
the big thing we really
shot.
want to hammer home,
You can actually take out a ball and play with them.
that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my God, this Raphorn is just gigantic. But he looks like my dog. My dog's right now for sure.
What? What kind of dog breed?
Oh, you could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
Oh?
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them. Bruce.
Bruce. That's a good name.
Nice. You know, we've
good option or a good
really nice
choice,
space.
honestly.
And you can get additional vivariums, correct? To different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivariums. So as you can see, this one's quite meadow themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect to and more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those, so when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to the same kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
everything connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything that's found throughout the world. Forgeables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world.
That's a big well.
And this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative. So, you know, you bringing up Poppy, there are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so detailed and there's so many things to do, and like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the collector's
Why do they say, like, why do they make me do math? Why do they gotta say, like, 72-hour? Why don't they just say 3-day? I wonder why. Why is that? That's so strange.
Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you.
Oh?
Bye.
Wait. What? He just got sucked into a book. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what hey, it's Mr. Beast. I don't really know what exactly that was referring to. Is there like side missions where you get sucked into a book and have like your whole own little world to explore or something? I have no clue what that was meant to be. Let me look real quick. So this is the Reddit for Hogwarts Legacy. I just want to see what people's general reactions to that are, because I'm blown away. That made me... Yeah. Some people are gonna nitpick this footage, but I'm sold. This is a game I've been dreaming about for 2 decades. Yeah. To a lesser extent, because like I said, Harry Potter is not like necessarily my thing. I think this game is gonna, like, it looks phenomenal. Yeah. Okay. Good. It seems like everybody else enjoyed this as well. Please don't invite YouTubers to the next one. My God. Huh. Yeah, I hate YouTubers as well. Ew. I'm trying to see if anybody... Okay, people are real upset with the guest. I'm trying to see if anybody has any insight on to what that was at the very end. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see anything here. Seems like overall, people are very excited though, and they like this this gameplay showcase, which I don't know how you could be upset with this gameplay showcase, honestly. I'm blown away, genuinely. I can't believe how much like depth there seemingly is to the game, because I thought it was just gonna mostly be like the main single player, like just a main story that you follow for the most part. So to see all this extra added stuff, the challenges and stuff like that added, that they're just gonna add so many hours to the game. I'm very, very excited. If there's anything I missed, especially with that last part where the person gets sucked into the book, if the people could let me know in the comments, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm always happy to learn about things I may have missed, as long as people aren't presenting them in mean ways. That as long as they aren't bullies to me and telling me I'm a stupid idiot. So yeah, if there's any further information anybody could provide on anything I may have missed, I would appreciate it a lot. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm very, very excited for this game. I'll be covering anything else. I imagine there'll be at least one more gameplay showcase, because we still got about under 2 months, just under 2 months until the game launches. So I'll be doing another reaction video to that, and then also, of course, playing the game non-stop once it comes out. I want to do a playthrough of a bad guy, dark arts, and then like a little good boy. So I'm very, very excited. I hope everybody else is excited. Let me know what you thought of the gameplay showcase as well in the comments. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.